Hi, this is the second lesson of day 7. So you should have already done the first half of the notes yesterday. We're going to start on example 4 here. Example 4 says solve a multi-step problem. So lawn care. You're using a roller to smooth a lawn. You can roll about 125 square yards in 1 minute. That's a rate. I better make a note of that one right there since that's a rate. I think that's probably going to mean something to us. So I can do 125 yards squared per minute. About how many minutes? Here's my question. How many minutes? So my answer, I know, should be something minutes. Does it take to roll a lawn that is 120 feet long and 75 feet wide? Now looking at my units, I know my units here for my rate are yards squared. So I'm going to want yards squared as the units for my lawn, and yards squared would be the area. So I have actually have a rectangular shaped lawn here, and it's 120 feet by 75 feet. Now I'm given this unit in feet, and this is in yards. So what I need to do is convert from feet to yards. And a yard is bigger. There's 3 yards in every foot. So since there's 3 yards in every, I said that backwards, there's 3 feet in every yard. Since there's 3 feet in every yard, what we need to do is divide our 75 feet by 3. And that will give us, instead of 75 feet, it'll give us 25 yards. We're going to do the same thing for our 120 feet too. We're going to divide it by 3 because there's 3 feet in every yard. And when I do that, I end up with 40 yards down here. So the area of this lawn, I know area for a rectangle is base times height. So my area is 40 times 25. So my area here, 40 times 25, that gives me 1,000, and that's yards squared. Now I've got 1,000 yards squared, and I can do 125 yards squared per minute. So this 1,000 isn't my answer because I want my answer to be how many minutes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my yards squared, and really I'm going to divide it by 125 yards squared per minute. Because what it'll do, it'll cancel out my yards squared, and it'll give me an answer with just this minute as the units. So if you divide 1,000 by 125, you'll find you get 8, and the unit is minutes. So just backtracking a little bit, because there's a lot to that problem, I set up my picture. I knew I had a rate right here that had yards, so I labeled it my picture according to the feet, but then I divided both of them by 3 here to find my length and width in yards. To find the area then of the rectangle, I multiplied them together to get 1,000 yards squared. But I know my answer, my question says how many minutes, so my answer needs to be in minutes. So I divided that by 125 yards squared, leaving me with just the minutes unit, because yards squared cancel. 1,000 divided by 125 is 8, and my unit was minutes. So try this next one on your own. It might be a little bit of a challenge, but look for what is the formula we're using, what's the shape, plug in what you know, and solve for what you need to know. All right, let's look here. So suppose a rectangular lawn. Right there, I know I have a lawn that's a rectangle. So I'm going to draw my picture. I have this lawn. Oops, wrong thing there. I have this lawn that's a rectangle. Suppose a rectangular lawn is twice as long as it is wide. So twice as long as wide. So this twice as long as it is wide. So if it's x wide, it's got to be 2x long. That shows me if this right here, this is my length is twice as big as my width is. So it says the perimeter is this. Well, a formula for perimeter is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width, or 2 times the base plus 2 times the height. It's really the same thing. Length and width, you can use base times height, base and height as well. But for P, I'm going to plug in the 378 they gave me. 2 times my length is 2x, plus 2 times my width is just x. So I have 378 equals 2 times 2x is 4x, plus 2 times x is 2x. So 378 equals 6x, because 4x plus 2x is 6x. Divide both sides by 6, and I find that x is 63. Now let's look back at the question. How long is each side? There's my question. So this side is 63. This side down here is 2 times 63. 2 times 63 is 126 feet. So this side, my length is 126 feet, and 63 feet, really right here, that's my width. All right, let's look at the next problem here. Example 5 says find the unknown length. So looking at this problem, the base of a triangle is 24 feet. So we know we've got to draw a triangle in here. So my triangle, a triangle right here. My base I'm going to put down here at the bottom, and it says that's 24 feet. So I use my word triangle on the 24 feet. Its area is this. Okay, area of a triangle. Area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. And if its area is this, I'm going to put 216 in for the A, for area. Here's the question. Find the height of the triangle. So this triangle, my height would come right in here at a right angle. I know my base, so I can plug 24 in for B. I'm looking for the height, so I'm going to keep that H, and then I'm going to divide by 2. So I looked at what picture am I talking about, what's the formula that I need to use, and then I wrote that down, and I plugged in what I know to solve for what I need to know. And the height is what I'm looking for, what I need to know here. So to solve this, actually I see something real quick. Can't we do 24 divided by 2 really easily? I can do that. Since these two are multiplied together, I can reduce like this. 24 divided by 2 is 12. So I have 216 equals 12h. Divide both sides by 12. And h equals 216 divided by 12 is 18. So the question says find the height. I did find the height. It's 18, and my units would be feet. So there's my answer right there. Try extra example 5 on your own. All right, this one says the area of a triangle. So I know I've got a triangle, and the area is 96 square inches. So let's draw that triangle. That's where my height's going to be. And the area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. The area is 96. I'm going to plug 96 in for A. Let's finish reading here. Its height is 8 inches. So I know this right here is 8, and I can put 8 in for the H in there. Find the length of its base. So I'm looking for my B. So I'll put B in here and divide by 2. Well, just like last time, I can reduce this. 96 equals 8 divided by 2 is 4B. Divide both sides by 4, and my base equals 24. So the question said find the length of the base. So the base is 24, and my units there would be inches. And there's my length of the base. Last problem right here, it says find an unknown length. A square has an area of 441 yards squared. What is the perimeter? So I've got a square here. I know these sides are all congruent, and I've got all right angles here. And it says it's got an area of 441. Well, the area of a square, I know, is the side length squared, because all these side lengths are the same. They're all S's. They're all the same. So I can plug 441 in for a and set that equal to s squared. And then I just take the square root of both sides. S equals the square root of 441, which is 21. So my side length is 21 yards. Now let's look back at the question. What is the perimeter? I found the side length, not the perimeter. I know the perimeter, though, is 4 times the side length because they're all the same. So my perimeter is 4 times 21. So my perimeter, 4 times 21, is 84, and my unit would be yards. This is the end of lesson 1-7. If you have any questions, you can ask me in class, and have a great day.